Hello once more, my friends. It is time for more stories, I believe, of a neckbeard variety, for they usually are. This is from Reddit user Anonymmeows. I love your name. Anonymmeows 2030. Not just an anonymous cat. Cyborg anonymous cat from the future. 10 kinds of fucking awesome. This is Joe, my boyfriend. Not. That's what it's called. Hey y'all. Hey! I've been a bit of a lurker recently, so this is my first post here. I hope you all enjoy. And Moonhorse, yes. If you read this, thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Also, I'm on mobile, so formatting isn't the best. Sorry. It happens. The story is from when I was a sophomore in high school. Let us introduce the characters. Myself, a 15 or 16-year-old in high school, 5'2", long brown hair. I've been told I've got big ol' anime eyes that only adds to my uncanny ability to attract creeps of all kind. BF, my boyfriend at the time, brunette, 5'8", 16, 17-year-old sweetheart, psychology nerd, with zero confrontational bones in his body. Joe, an odd, quiet 5'2" Asian guy, and the main subject of the story. Always carried a mini digital camera with him. Generally just laughed awkwardly whenever someone tried to talk to him. Names obviously changed for privacy reasons. Always made it to school at least half an hour early, due to the bus schedule, which meant I had a decent amount of time to kill before my first class of the day. Most of the time, that meant I'd just hang out with my group of friends, which is what I was doing on this day in particular. I was just being a relatively normal high school student, talking to friends, when suddenly Joe sits down with us. None of us really knew who he was, but, we didn't push him away or anything, and even tried to get to know him a bit, ask his name, year, etc. To all of our questions, he either mumbled or answered just laughing awkwardly. But that might potentially be a combination of being an awkward person and not having the best grasp of English. My town has a large Asian population, so you can get by without English in most places, honestly. The next few weeks, Joe would follow my group around in the mornings, even joining us if we went to different locations in the school, and finding us if we met up in different locations, which, frankly, is a little weird. We all thought he was a little strange, but we're a pretty accepting group of people, and we didn't really mind. This being said, it became pretty clear that he was following me specifically after I'd meet up with other groups to go other places, rather than my normal group, and there he is. So one day I'm talking to a teacher before class, with BF and Joe sitting in the hall. I was only in the doorway of this teacher's classroom, not far from BF and Joe. I just happened to turn around mid-conversation with my teacher, and I saw that Joe had my jacket held up to his face and sniffing it. Yeah, like, I know the perfume I wear smells pretty good, but seriously, dude. Hey man, can you not? Thank you. He put my jacket down, and I continued with my conversation, only for me to turn around 5 minutes later to see him doing the exact same thing again. Oof. So I asked him once more, can you not do that? And then tell BF not to let him do that, since he's sitting right there. Joe puts my jacket back down, and I try to continue my conversation, more than a little weirded out. I turn around one last time to see Joe with my jacket halfway on, his face shoved into the fabric. I excuse myself from the conversation, grab my jacket, and unhelpful boyfriend and I leave. Luckily, Joe did not follow this time, but I'm pretty fucking creeped out, and probably should have mentioned it to someone. I have a long track record of not doing that when I really should. A few weeks later, with a decent bit less Joe sightings, I'm standing in front of my teacher's classroom, waiting for her to open the door. Focused on my phone, I know, darn kids these days. Pretty oblivious to the world when suddenly someone steps on the tips of my shoes. You guessed it, it's Joe. He's just standing there with his camera out, pointed at me. Hi, can I help you? He responds with his awkward laugh and then just runs off, leaving me extremely confused and weirded out. All I can imagine is that my shoes are now on some social media couple goal post, along with potentially a very detailed description of the perfume I wear. Needless to say, I spent the next month strategically avoiding him, until eventually he stopped following me. I'm still not too sure what was up with that, but I did learn he wasn't going to be the last creepy experience I'd have in high school, and definitely not the creepiest. If you like this enough, I'll post more of my odd experiences, but regardless, thank you for reading. Yeesh. That's just awkward. And I can see why that would be incredibly kind of creepy. At least it wasn't worse, I will say that. It's definitely strange. There's definitely some stuff that is just like, that is not okay, and bro, you shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, with the history of this channel and the people that we've read stories from, thankfully, this is not worse. I am sorry that you had to put up with it, though, because I can imagine that's just, like, what the fuck, bro? You gotta stop. You need to chill the fuck out with a lot of this shit, you know? Just, wow. That's kind of messed up. But I do wonder what that was all about. Like, it's obvious that, you know, it's obviously that he liked you, but why? I don't know, maybe he was just super socially awkward and just wouldn't talk? Or, I really don't know. Like, there's a lot of questions, but not a lot of answers, you know what I'm saying? He seems like a really awkward kid, but, you know, what else can you say? What else can you say without knowing more? That's kind of how a lot of this goes. But thank you all for watching, and if you're enjoying this and would like to send in your own stories, you can do that by going to r/Moonhorse Stories and sending it there. I have no idea why I'm talking like this. This is weird. And if you want to support this channel, you can do that by going to the Patreon or going to the merch store. I'm pointing like you can see me. Or you could do both. That was the part that I was supposed to say before I talked about pointing, but I got distracted. And if you would like to hang out with me and talk about weird shit live, you can do that. On Saturdays, there is a live stream at about 9 p.m. Central till about midnight. I do it every Saturday unless something comes up, and, you know, it's mostly just shooting the shit and talking about crazy things. So you're more than welcome to join us there, too. And once more, with, you know, the YouTube stuff, with the thing, whatever, like, comments, whatever. Once more, thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, you have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.